Hi there, this is Allison Blaker here, and I am here today to talk to you about the All-Star Challenge groups and how you can run these every single month. So let's get it started. So first I want to tell you a little bit about me and my background. So I actually have always been into health and fitness. I got my degree in community health from the University of Illinois. And right out of college, I worked for a physical therapist. And I just felt like I needed to do a little more. So I started working in corporate America doing health insurance benefits. And I was just not liking corporate land. I ended up moving out to Los Angeles and got another job with corporate and was doing stuff for movies and was still just not happy. So I realized that I wanted to make a difference in people's lives and help other people. So I became a personal trainer and I loved it. I had so much fun. I was working with clients in West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and it was just crazy and a really great experience. But I did this while like everything was crashing in 2008, 2009, and the economy was bad. And so before I knew it, I was in a crazy amount of debt and ended up moving back to Illinois. So I was still really persistent and wanted to keep and stay in the health and fitness industry. So I kept personal training full time and I was working at a gym, a corporate gym, but I was still just not making ends meet. I was struggling and I was working full time. I mean, I was there at 5 in the morning till noon, and then I was there again from 4 until 9. And I was just I was putting in a lot of hours and just still not really getting compensated for it, but I still wanted to do what I loved. So then I found Zumba, and now I'm like obsessed with Zumba. I'm personal training, and then I started teaching about 15 hours of Zumba a week, which was not so healthy on my body. You can see my little picture there on the right. But I just got so burnt out. I was now working at the gym. I was teaching Zumba classes. I was sitting at the fitness desk. And the worst part was I was still just struggling to get by and to pay my bills. So I was introduced to the Beachbody business in February of 2011. And I just didn't think it was for me. So I told that person no. And then a couple months later, Christina added me in a group on Facebook, I think a Zumba group, and we became Facebook friends. And I kept seeing her videos and her posts and her inspirational things and her challenges. And I was like, what is she doing? So I reached out to her and she told me all about Beachbody. And at first, I was so skeptical. If you have done Danny Johnson's trainings, I am an Emerald/Ruby personality. So I did a gazillion like searches and research and made sure I looked up Beachbody Scam and Shakeology. And at first I didn't even order Shakeology. I waited like a week or two to order it because I was skeptical on that. But I just knew I had to do something different. So I ended up, Christina kept telling me to have a home party. And I had, like I said, no time. I was pretty much busy every night of the week and on the weekends. And so 4th of July weekend came and I was like, I have a free night. So I luckily had about 10 people come over to my house and Christina came over too. And after that, it was just something clicked and I realized that this business is real and it's changing people's lives. And I was drinking Shakeology at the time and loving it. So I just knew that I had to start doing that and being, taking it more serious. So July of 2011, I became an Emerald. My mom and one of my friends who had been drinking Shakeology signed up as coaches, and I started running challenge groups every month. And back then, challenge groups, there were no challenge packs. So it was me emailing people and like playing around with groups on Facebook. There was no system set in place. So I just started doing that through email pretty much. And every single month I ran a new challenge and I just kept going from there. And so building this business has been a fun journey, and I'm excited to share with you how I run successful challenge groups every single month. I am now a full-time Beachbody coach. I moved to Boston this past August, and yep, so here I am. I'm doing it full-time, and I'm very grateful and hope that you can learn from this. So I want you to take out 2 sheets of paper. I want you to take out one for your to-do list and then one, of course, for your notes. And just so you can see here, it shows a picture of from when I met Christina. And then there's a picture of me and my boyfriend when we went on the Success Club trip with Beachbody. Then I was able to go to Chalene Johnson's Smart Success, which was incredible. So thank you, Christina, for that. And there's a picture of my team and then a fun little positive quote. And like I said, I don't have a huge physical transformation story, but I have a little one you can see there. So, all right, let's get it started. So this is what we are going to cover today. These are the steps to running an all-star challenge group. The first step is to pick a date, then pick your theme, invite, track, and then set that group up. All right, so when should I start my group? The main thing is just to start on a Monday. It doesn't matter if it's the first Monday of the month, the last Monday of the month, the middle of the month. Mondays are always a good start date because for some reason people like to go on diets and start them on Mondays. So I always recommend starting on a Monday, usually not on a Monday of a holiday or after the holidays is always a good time too. It's kind of a crazy time right now because it is December, but we are still doing a challenge. But anyways, I would say do a Monday and try to do it after the holidays. So pretty easy start. So number 2 is to pick a theme. So you can see here I've used some of my pictures and then a picture Stephanie did. And just every month I try to do some kind of different theme. You know, we did a freeze the gain challenge for December, and we did a clean eating challenge in November. So you can come up with different names, but the main thing is you want to find a cool picture that people are going to it's just going to jump out at them and they're going to want to know what you're doing and what's going on. So I like to use things other than just the Beachbody stuff because then people can, looking at Britney Spears are like, oh, what is this about? They don't really know what I'm promoting. They might know in the want to join me picture what I'm doing with the P90X shirt. But yeah, so pick a theme and just find a picture that when you're scrolling through it, it would jump out at you. So if you think about if you're on Instagram or if you're on Facebook, what stands out to you? And always, a lot of times we get super excited when new products come out, but always try to find a way to put your story with it and make it more personal so you don't just sound like every other coach out there. So the second step is pick your theme. So right now I want you to pick a date for when you want to start your next challenge and then start to think about a theme that you'd like to do and write that out. All right, so we're going to break this down a little more, but this is the main step. This is one of the 3 vital behaviors, and it is so, so, so key to growing this business because you have to invite if you want to have people joining you. So I'm going to teach you how to do this. So you're going to be adding people to your list, starting new conversations daily, starting and following a script, and then closing your people you're talking to. So let's get it going. So the first thing is, where do I find these people? A lot of you might be new to fitness and maybe you don't have a big following there, or maybe you're newer to Facebook or Instagram. How do you build your list? Well, the goal is to add 2 to 5 new friends to your list every day. There's a couple ways that I like to do this. There are different Facebook groups. So before we get into all that, I want you to take a second and write down 5 things that are important to you or that you enjoy doing. So I put up, I like to run, I teach Zumba, I teach work, I'm a tone it up girl, and I love shopping and I love Lululemon. So just think about 5 things that you really enjoy. So now you can start to go into Facebook groups with similar interests. I'm in a lot of personal training and Zumba and fitness groups and tone it up groups for my city. So start to look for different groups. Another thing that I've recently started doing is going on to like pages of silly things like TV shows. I love New Girl. So I go on to the New Girl page and I'll comment on people's stuff and I'll start to try to start conversations on pages. So just for a tip, I recommend it not always being a fitness related thing because then you're going to get a lot of the same people. But Starbucks has a page. Everybody pretty much has a Facebook page. So start to go on different things that you like and find people that are similar to you and have a similar interest in you. It just makes things easier. Another great tip is searching in the search bar, friends of friends who ... So like I said, I like New Girl. So I did friends of friends who like New Girl. So now it's going through and people that I already have mutual friends in common with, it is showing me who they are. So this is a fun tool to use as well. And then we've covered this a lot in other trainings, but Instagram and Twitter, you would go and hashtag, like I hashtag tone it up, and I go and like all these people's pictures or hashtag Starbucks or hashtag Weight Watchers or Slim Fast, and you can start to like people's pictures and start conversations and leave little notes. On Twitter, you can retweet and favorite things. So there's a lot of ways to add people to your network. So I don't want to hear anyone saying that I don't know anybody or that my list is too full, because you can find people. There's so many people on social media, it's crazy. So one thing with this is I want you, if you are adding people on Facebook that you don't know, if it's a person that you have a friend in common, they will get your message. But if it's a complete stranger, it's going to go into their other folder. But that's okay because they'll still get it eventually if they check it or if they accept your request. So I usually still send them. And another tip is to write down who you're adding so that you don't get blocked from Facebook. I think adding two to three people a day is good, but then I have a little system that on Monday, throughout the week, I'll add my people. And then on Friday or Monday, depending on what day I'm in the mood to do this, I go and look to see if these people accepted me. And if they haven't, then I cancel out the request. There's also, if you put in the search on Facebook, pending friend request app that works. I heard it doesn't work all the time. I use it, but I also have my little system in place. So I recommend always writing down who you're adding so you don't get blocked from Facebook. So when you are talking to these people, you're going to send the new people a message saying, hi, like I saw you on the Tone It Up page. How long have you been a team member? Just something little like that. And once they've accepted your friend request, then I'm going to show you my mega list and I add them there to that mega list. So really think about at least five things that separate you from all the other coaches that you know. What makes you unique? What's your brand? Are you into fitness? Are you a mom? Do you love Disney? So everyone needs to have at least five things that you really like to do or that are important to you. And like I said, or I haven't said yet, but I am going through my Facebook friends from A to Z and literally talking to everyone. I'm talking to professional dancers and fitness models and people I haven't talked to since kindergarten, brand new people I barely know. Just start talking to people and really be interested in them and ask them lots of fun questions and get to know them. Because a lot of these people you will have stuff in common with, and it's a lot of fun to build relationships with them. So that kind of leads me into my next slide, which are having the daily conversations. So I love this slide that Lindsay put up a long time ago, but it says, the way I do business, a simple hello could lead to a million things. So all you're going to do, sorry, I don't know what's up with this slide, is start 10 new conversations with a super simple script. And this is also in the Power Hour video. So if you haven't watched that yet, I'm telling you, you need to do that as well. So you're going to just say something like, hey, Sarah, how's it going? I thought of you the other day and wrote your name down to get in touch. Super simple. That's all you really need to say to get a conversation started. And then once you do that, you're going to add that to your mega spreadsheet that I'll show you all about. But I rarely get people saying, why are you thinking of me? a lot of times they respond and they're really excited to hear from me. I have had a couple times where they say, why did you think of me? And I say, oh, I'm going through my Facebook friends and I haven't talked to you in forever. So just have fun and talk to everyone. Don't stereotype anyone. All right. So the next thing is forming people. And so really get to know them. Form is a Danny Johnson acronym. It talks about family. So you're asking them all about their family life. Sometimes I think that's hard when it's a complete stranger. So I might go to occupation, which is a O in form. So talk to them about what they do for work. Do they like their job? Do they work normal hours? Just get to know what they're doing. And then R is recreation. So what do they like to do for fun? What hobbies do they have? What keeps them busy? Get to know that. And that's when you can give your message. And just another tip, I've had a lot of coaches recently who are afraid to invite to the challenge group and they get caught up in forming for too long. But I think if you've built some kind of relationship with it, you'll know when to throw that in there. And if anything, just throw it in sooner. So there's a whole slide on how to reach out in the GoPro thing as well. But you just say, I've been meaning to ask you, have you ever thought about joining my challenge? So just really set a goal. I want you to set a goal to do at least 10 new conversations this week. So start up 10 new conversations with people. When I started, like I said, I was really busy. So I did 2 a day, but I consistently did 2 every single day. And if I skipped a day, I would do, double the next day. So you have to make starting conversations with people a daily habit if you want to grow your business. All right. So now I'm going to tell you to start and follow the script. I'm not going to read through the whole script now, but this is what I'll post up sometimes. So I'll post up, I'm looking for 5 people to take part in my test group. Are you looking to lose your belly fat, stop that bloating, increase energy, and gain confidence? Email me. This works like so many times, all the time. Or you can, instead of email me, you can say message me. It depends on what you are using, or click like. Just always have a call to action there. So I have a script from a group that I was in that kind of combines the 5-step invite that's on the 7-day quick start guide. And it kind of combines a little Danny Johnson in it. But it's basically, getting people to answer some questions first to see if they are really ready to do this. So this script is in the Dream Extreme files, and it's also in my Ignited Nation files. So if you need to find it, let me know if you haven't found it yet. But it's basically 10 questions, really getting to know people and what their goals are, what they expect from you as a coach. And then my favorite question is asking them, how committed are they from 1 to 10? 1, they're not really ready. 10, they're ready to do this challenge right away. Because you want to always have people that have a higher number and who are ready to do this. So this script is really awesome and really great. And just so you know, another thing that I want to make sure everyone knows is don't expect to post this post and get your whole challenge group filled, or sign up a ton of coaches, or sign up a bunch of challenge group people. I only post this about 1 time, maybe if that. The rest, I will send individual messages asking people, hey, have you ever considered joining my challenge group? Really, really easy. That's all I do. I send out, so after I've formed people and I have that huge mega list I'm working with, you just have to start going through and asking them, hey, have you ever considered joining my free challenge? And if that's too much for you, I recommend using one of the Danny Johnson test group scripts. I'm looking for people to test out a product. Do you know anyone who might be interested? Another thing is GoPro. There's a whole awesome way to invite people in GoPro. And if you have not read that book yet, I recommend that you do as soon as possible, or you listen to the audio. Both of those are good, but I think having the book in place is good. So there's a lot of different things you can use. Some people don't use scripts at all, and that's okay too. If that's not your style, that's fine. Just make sure the main thing you want to be doing in these conversations now is asking people a lot of questions about what they want. And now in the script, you'll see there's a section where it talks about what you recommend. And I always recommend 2 workouts for them and I ask if they want to see the videos, and I give a little description of what the workouts are. You don't ever want to send someone to your website and just say, okay, order a challenge pack. There's too many options. So you want to, when you're asking them what their goals are, what they like, find out, do they like to do cardio? Do they want to do more weights? Do they like choreography? Do they like music? How much time do they have to work out? Maybe they only have 25 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day. So, recommend P90X3 or T25. So, the main part here is if you're not following a script, you can still just ask questions and get to know people and really lead them to the right challenge group. All right, so here is the script that I use. So you can just read it over. But hey, Sarah, I'm going to host a challenge group next month. I'd love to tell you more about it. Do you think you'd be interested? Or you can post that picture I put up and said comment details. Or, you could just say, have you ever considered joining my next challenge group? You can say kind of whatever you want. But once they say yes, then that's when you say, I'd love to tell you about it, but I need to know a little bit more about you. What makes you excited to get in shape and get healthy? So I usually ask them that. And then here are the questions that I ask. So I don't know if you want to screenshot this or if you want me to read through it all, but what's your current weight? What's your goal weight? What have you been doing up until now to get to your goal weight? What has stopped you from getting into shape in the past? What are your health and fitness goals? How will you know you're accomplishing them? How much time are you willing to carve out of your schedule to get your workouts done? Are you committed to working towards proper nutrition? On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your level of commitment and what do you expect as me from your coach? And now here you can see, this is what I was talking about, giving them 2 options and explaining why. And then in that second paragraph, it explains, how important Shakeology is and what the group's like and how we have a private Facebook group. So that is that. All right, so now let's get them to sign up. So now you're going to send them the third-party tool. I use the Ever Feel Like This video a lot. And you say, okay, here's the video. It's just a few minutes. Let me know once you're done watching and I'll help you enroll. Another really great tool that Jackie has been using is getting them on the phone and using the Coach mobile app and just putting all their information in, like you're taking the order down and put it through the phone. Or you can just get that, you can still do that with the Coach mobile app without doing it on the phone. But I think getting people on the phone is very important to make sure that they are set up properly. So now closing, I always make sure that they know where to go on the site. So see where that Take the Challenge button is. If I am promoting like a P90X3 challenge group, I'll have the P90X3 there as well. So it makes it easy for them to find it. But I just say, okay, here's the link to get signed up. When it goes through, I'll add you to the group and give you the rest of the information. Call or text me if you need help signing up. I can't wait to work with you. And now I don't put anyone into my challenge groups unless I've seen their order go through. So that's how I do it, and that's a good way to follow up too. If they haven't ordered, you can say, hey, I didn't see your order go through yet. I just want to make sure you had the right link or it worked for you. So that's always a good thing to follow up with. All right, so now let's get into my little tracking system. So as Craig Holiday says, the fortune is in the follow-up. So like I said earlier, I want you to set up a goal for your daily conversations. How many people do you have time to talk to a day? So this is my notebook. It's kind of funny. Now I actually use a Franklin Covey planner that is really, really, really fun because on the left-hand side of the notebook, it is a schedule from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and it has a to-do list where you fill in stuff. And then on the right side, it has daily notes, and that's where I put this screen. So it says up in the top left, new conversations. Then next to that, in the top right, is follow-ups. Then below that says invite /-B/C. So that means business or challenge. What did I invite them to? And then new friends, I have 2 little dashes for the people I'm going to add there, and then Instagram. So this is really simple, and I think this is really important. And I've also added with my team to do like a gratitude journal, and it doesn't have to be on here, but every day write like 1 or 2 things you're thankful for. But using a notebook is really helpful. I just like pen to paper. So I want you to do this now. Take out a sheet of paper and break your paper into 4 sections like this. Okay. So every time I do power hour, I am taking out a sheet of paper and writing it down like this. And like I said, I try to do 10 a day. You can do 2 a day if you don't have a lot of time, or just set up what you want your goal to be. All right, so now it's my scary mega spreadsheet. Don't be scared. All right, so I want you to add to your to-do list right now. If you do not have a Google Drive account, sign up for Google Drive. It is the best. You can access it anywhere. You can do it on your phone, on your iPad, on your computer, on other people's computers. It's just really easy. I used to have my list in Excel, and I could only open it on my computer. So if I was somewhere where I needed to add somebody in, it was just kind of a pain to do that. So take a deep breath. Let's not get overwhelmed here. This is actually pretty easy once you get the hang of it. So across the top, it says first name, last name, contact info. You can put in their phone number, email. I put in just like Facebook or Twitter or email, so I know where to look. Some of them Beachbody email, so you know where you're contacting them and how you're contacting them. Then you can write, then it says type. So in there you'd put challenge, Shakeology, coach, and then next to that, your notes, and then contact 1, 2, 3, 4. So the reason there are 4 is because it takes people about 4 to 6 exposures before they actually sign up with you. So I always try to go back and talk to people that I talked to a long time ago, just because you never know when the right time is for them. So I do have this spreadsheet in a Google Doc, so you can make your own based off of it. So this is my mega spreadsheet. Now, I want you to kind of visualize this with me, but you have your notebook and you wrote everything out by hand. Now, it takes a couple extra minutes, but this is going to save you a lot of time to go into this spreadsheet. And now, say you had 2 new conversations. You're going to just plug them into your list. Just add them to that spreadsheet. So put in their name, put in where you talked to them, and then in the notes, you're going to put initial conversation. That means you started and said like hey, how's it been going? So you're not going to invite them right away. You're going to start to talk to them first. I really used this because before I was using Evernote, or I was just writing notes all over the place like a crazy person. But this is really great to just look at it and visually see where you're at on your list, who you've talked to, and make sure you're checking in with customers and coaches and people that said maybe. So I've color coordinated it. You can see here, blue means I sent them samples. A lot of times we send out samples to people and we totally forget about it. So I highlight it in blue so I know that they've had a sample from me before. Green means they ordered or they've become a coach. So you got the green light and they signed up. Red means leave them alone right now. I might contact them later, but I'll put notes in like signed up with someone else or already a coach, ignored me 3 times. What else do I put in there? That's kind of funny. I just make little notes on why to just leave that person alone. Like they like some other product, whatever. So red is like, don't talk to them. Maybe reach back in like a year or so, but they're not really a hot person to chat with. Then just the white means I'm still chatting with them. Maybe I've only filled out the initial conversation part. Maybe I haven't sent them any third-party tools yet or invited them to the challenge. So they'll stay white because I need to still build that relationship. Now, yellow means that they're on the fence. So they might give you a maybe, then I'd make them yellow. Or like they sound kind of interested, but it's not the right time, I make them yellow. Then pink means special occasion. So I've had recently a lot of people that are pregnant. So I'll write down like do blah, 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 check back in a couple months. Or if they're getting married, they've told me I'm getting married this April, check back with me in January. So pink is kind of like a special occasion. And then purple means I sent them a webinar and they watched it. So this is good to be able to follow up with people and to track how many people you've been sending the business webinar to. So on a side note, if you want to build a big business, you need to make sure you have 3 to 5 purple columns or rows per week. All right. So this is what I do when I'm working. I get out my notebook, I divide it up into 4. Then I do everything on the notebook. Then I transfer it into here. Because the really cool tool is if you know you were talking to someone, you can go to, I can't remember where it is now. I think it's an edit, find and replace, and type somebody's name. So type Sarah's name in and hit enter, and it'll show you all the people named Sarah that are in this spreadsheet. So you're not actually finding and replacing anything, but you're just kind of searching. So this is a really, really good tool to have. And then people, once they've accepted my friend request, I will add them to the spreadsheet and I will add them to a new conversation. So this is just something that you have to do every day if you want to know who you're talking to. This is how I follow up with people. I'll look and see who's still in white, and I'll go and talk to them some more, or I'll invite them some more based on what we're chatting about. I don't put my whole conversation in here. That would be too crazy. So, if I started talking to Sarah on Monday, and then I kind of, left her little thing alone, started talking to some new people, and now it's Thursday and I go back and see, well, what was I talking to Sarah about? Am I still talking to her? Where did we leave it off? So it's a really good way to track everything. But now you just have to be disciplined to do this. It is an extra step, but I really think you'll benefit from it. And you have to be positive, patient, and persistent. And another tip here, I actually go back through my notebook now because I do have the one that's divided up by date. And I look at people that I've really been talking to and I'll highlight them and just always keep them kind of in the front of my mind, and I'll write their name on my back, which I'll get into in a second. So discipline yourself to make this Google document when you leave today or when you're done with watching this. Okay, we're getting there. So now, know your numbers. I just want to tell you, I don't like saying know your numbers. I don't like sales. I quit my one corporate personal training job because I had to hit all these crazy numbers. But when I was at Danny Johnson last January, she talked about knowing your closing ratio. And I was like, what is she talking about? I have no idea. And I realized that I had to treat my business like a business and know my numbers. So you can either use the business activity tracker or you can create your own spreadsheet. But I want you to find a way to write down your numbers. So for me, the business activity tracker, I like you can see I'm totally anal about tracking things. So I usually use this and then I fill in my numbers later. I fill in my numbers on my spreadsheet like once a week or once every 10 days or something. But basically, what you need to do is first, if you want to use the business activity tracker, you can print it off. You can see where it is here. News and Training, Coach Training Academy reference materials. And I'm thinking they're going to make a new one for 2014. Or you can create your own. So you can see here, mine is the date. So it says daily numbers, initial contact, and then follow-ups are on there, invited to webinar, watch the webinar, test group. I have a bunch of them because I want to see what's working and what's not. Just a funny story, there was a month where I was like really struggling. I didn't know what was going on, but I was at Success Club. Oh, I was at -2 Success Club points because I had a return. And I looked at this spreadsheet, luckily, and saw that I had only invited like 10 people to a challenge using my script that I know works. So I came home from I was at leadership that weekend, and I came home and was like, I need to talk to at least 60 people if I want to get my get to Success Club. So having these numbers really helps you see how you're doing and what you need to do and what works. I've tried some scripts and things that don't work, and so I try not to use those anymore. It shows you how many people you really did send the webinar to. And so it's just a really good thing to know where you're at. So every month I make sure to copy and paste that row with like the top part. And then I also have started doing your media numbers. So I've been trying to really grow my social media account, and I'm looking at this now and it's good to know that it's gone up a lot. um, so I keep track of that every month, and I keep track of how I did. So find a way to track your business that works for you. You don't have to do this spreadsheet, but I think it really helps know what's working and what's not. I used the test group script, and that was working really well for a while. So that is that. We're almost there. Thank you for staying with me. I know it's a lot. Okay, so now the fun part, setting up your challenge group. So this is fun. You're going to go to Facebook, go to groups, and create a new group. And then you're going to put in the name and invite some people, and then select if you want it closed or secret. Secret is like totally hidden. Nobody can even search it. And closed, people can see the group exists, but they can't see anything in it. So I always make it one of those two. Now I want you to set some expectations. You can either create a file or you can put one of these in the cover photo. You want to let people know how you're going to check in with them. Recently, I haven't been doing the posts as much, this point system as much. I've been doing weekly challenges. So you can just find what's working in your groups and try different things. But this is a really great way to set some expectations and let them know why they need to check in every day. All right, now how do you keep your groups engaged? Woohoo! So you can either do Beachbody's posts or you can do your own posts, whatever you want. You can see here, if you're going to use Beachbody's, they have a whole PDF file of things you can just copy and paste into Hootsuite, or if you do it every day and like set an alarm to post in your group, whatever works for you. I like using theirs, and then sometimes I like doing my own. I'll have everybody check in with like what their favorite part of their day was and how much water they drank. And so you can really make up whatever you want. This is your business, and the main thing is just seeing what works for people and how to engage them. And then I always give prizes. So I like, gift cards. I like workouts. Some of those $12.95 or $20 workouts are good gifts. Everybody likes Target. So find ways to keep your group engaged. And like I said, right now we're doing the system where basically the first week, everyone has to show their sweaty workout picture, and then they get a shirt. Then the second week they have to show Shakeology, and then they get a Shakeology cup if they win. So we draw names from it. So there's different ways you can do prizes and you can do rewards, but you just really want to keep people excited and involved. And I want you to use your challenge groups to share success stories. This is what's going to attract people's attention. So I like to do blanket ones because it's easier. I love Friday weigh-ins. One of them is down 14 pounds. So I'm not really saying who did what. Same with the other one. I did ask Kara if I could use her results. So if you are going to use people's personal information, ask them first and don't blast them out there without them knowing. But it's a great way to promote your next challenge and to just show people what we do as coaches, that we are helping people get healthy and fit. So share success stories and share and celebrate successes. So in the group, shout out people for checking in every day or for getting their workout done or posting a new recipe. So always be giving props to people. All right, a couple more things. My bonus tips. Use your Facebook like page and promote your post. So recently I've heard promoting posts isn't a great idea anymore, but some people say it is. It just depends. But you don't have to have a Facebook like page. I really recommend it for once you're getting close to maxing out on your friends, or if you you really don't want to combine the two. But I think it is a lot of work to grow, and it's not something you need. But if you do decide you want to go with one, learn a lot of trainings on that, and you can promote posts and you can run ads. So that's a way you can grow your challenge groups. Another tip, don't count people in until they order. There's so many people that are like counting on people's orders to go through. If they haven't ordered, they haven't ordered. So keep inviting. Always keep inviting, because then you'll always have more people to talk to and more people to help. So don't just get caught up on people, and don't count them until they've actually ordered. Thank you cards. I really love thank you cards. So I send out a thank you card after someone orders from me, just saying, thanks for letting me be your coach. If it's someone you kind of know, give them your number if they need to reach out to you at a weak's point, or just be personal and add that little extra touch to it. Another thing is to try a free challenge. I am loving the 5-day free challenge that Christine Dwyer taught us at the Platinum Edge. I have done a little video on this, and I've been running these with my team, and we are loving it. But basically, it's a good way to let people see what we do as coaches. And when you run a free challenge, you can really do what you want. You can do a clean eating one. You can follow one of the meal plans from T25, the 5-day quick start. You can do a water challenge. You can do a burpee challenge, whatever you want. You can do a challenge and just invite people. And that's a really easy invite. Send people messages saying, hey, do you want to join my free challenge? Or, hey, do you know anyone who might want to join my 5-day free challenge? They're a lot of fun. So I really like free challenges. And then another thing is to set an alarm in your phone. So when someone orders a challenge pack, I always set an alarm on my phone to go off in like 2 weeks. And I just reach out to them to tell them, hey, you're all set up for your Shakeology to be shipped to you again. If you don't want to continue, that's okay. Here's the information. If you do want to continue, let me know if you want information on the discount program. So I try to go above and beyond to let people know what's up, because I don't like getting surprise charges and I don't want people to ever be mad at me. So that's what I do, and that helps out a lot. All right, so a couple more questions. Do I have to do the workouts with my group? No. You do not have to be doing, say you're running a T25 challenge group and you are doing Insanity. You don't have to do both the workouts. You can do your current workout, but still just be actively sharing your Shakeology stories and your recipes and that kind of thing. And, just keep inspiring them and using the Beachbody tools to show them about the workout they're doing. And when should I start promoting my next challenge group? Well, I always give it about 2 to 3 weeks to get people signed up, because it is a process and it is an investment. So, you want to have enough time for people to save up money and for you to just get that conversation going. Another question is, do we all need to do the same workout program? That's up to you. I think for some of the big launches, it's a lot of fun to do a P90X3 one in January. Everyone's going to do it. And we did a big T25 one together. I also like the mixed groups where people are doing different things, but they're all drinking Shakeology. So it's really up to you. You can try different things and see what happens. And then I had some frequently asked questions from when I did do this live, so I'm going to go over those a little bit. But someone asked if I post on social media. And like I said, I put up that one post, but almost everything I do is one-on-one. So I'm not posting that one post and hoping to fill my group. It's just not going to happen. So I do that so people see that I'm still doing it. And you do get a couple people interested, but most of the work is done behind the scenes through phone calls and through Facebook messages or Twitter messages or emails. As far as the free groups go, you can have people doing their own workouts. A lot of times I have them still sign up for the free account. And so to do that, they go to your Beachbody Coach website, click join, and select free account. So now they're going to be linked to you. Another thing is, I was asked what apps I use for my pictures. I like Insta Fonts, Insta Frame, Over, A Beautiful Mess, and Rona Designs are my favorites now. Then I had someone ask about pricing. I usually wait until I've given them the options. If they ask right off the bat, I kind of skip over it and just go to the questions first and see if they're serious about it. Then as far as social media, I always recommend using at least two. Try to master two before you branch off and try to do everything. A couple more questions I was asked. Is there a good time to post? I think evenings are usually good. Around lunchtime is good. Sometimes first time in the morning. You can kind of play around with this. And if you are using Instagram, statagram.com is a really cool site where it'll show you when your audience is on. And if you do have a like page, you can also see when people are liking. So it's really kind of a trial and error thing. I always recommend to not post at like weird times. I always wonder what people are doing when it's like Saturday at 10 and they're asking people to join their challenge. So I don't know. Just think about if you were on Facebook, what you would want to see at certain times. Another thing is how many people should be in a challenge group. I really think this depends on what you can handle. I think at least 5 to 10 is fun, but if you have at least 3 people, you can run your challenge group. And also, if you have new coaches on your team, have them join in on your challenge groups. And then the last thing is just keep the party going in the groups. Some groups are harder than others. Some groups, people are not posting anything, and some months you have people that are just like posting so much you can't even keep up with the group. So that's natural and that's going to happen, and it's kind of dependent on personalities. All you can really do is stay consistent and keep posting and keep sharing everything with them. So I think that's it. So let's just recap really quick. Pick a date and set that date. Pick a theme, choose your theme. Invite, invite, invite. Get out a new notebook. How many conversations do you want to have every day? And set a goal of how many people you want to invite every day. Find a way to track your business. Use Google Drive, the business activity tracker, and know your numbers. And then set up your groups and have fun. Add people to your challenge and set up those posts. So I'm going to leave you with these 2 quotes. I want to inspire people. I want someone to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. I had one of my old personal training coach clients do one of my challenges, and she has lost I don't even know, maybe almost 80 pounds now. And it's just so inspiring to see what just being behind someone and coaching them and giving them that encouragement can do. So another quote is, your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it. And lastly, you cannot grow if you are afraid of taking risks and making mistakes. So I want you to go and get your challenge group started and just start talking to people. Have fun, invite, 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 and find a way to track your business that hopefully works for you. Well, hopefully one of these will work for you. So thank you again for your time, and let me know if you need anything. You can always email shapeupwithalison@gmail.com. And I'm very grateful for you watching this. Thanks again, and I look forward to working with you soon.